Next up, we have Robyn Zitnick. Robyn's a retired engineer and Montessori teacher. She works part-time at the Levi and Catherine Coffin House in Fountain City, telling the story of the Underground Railroad. She's also performed around town, Richmond Civic Theater, downtown's Diva Department of Improv, as a vocalist for the Richmond Jazz Orchestra. So let's hear it for Robyn Zitnick.
Hi. There's a lot of people I know here. A lot of you know me. And those of you who know me, a lot of you also know that I'm on the autism spectrum, that I'm a high-functioning autistic, used to be called Asperger's. So the story I'm sharing with you tonight is really a serious one. It's going to be about that. The title of it is Timer. I have a very vivid memory of when I was 7 years old. And I was in my backyard. It was summertime. I'm standing next to one of those, metal cyclone fences. I've got my hands on the bar on the top. I've got my mouth pressed up to that bar, and I'm focusing on the taste, the sort of the acidy metal taste, the coldness on my tongue. I'm focused on that because there's a storm going on in my head. My world is coming apart. And by focusing on one thing, I can bring myself back to a place of safety or security. Now, everyone with autism has a problem with being hypersensitive to the world around them. Everything is overstimulating. A loud noise, crazy patterns, people trying to hug you and touch you, there's too much touching. There might be a smell that just overwhelms you and you can't think of anything else. So autism is a strategy to try to push away. We're all trying to push away that overstimulation, find a place where we can feel secure and safe and stable, because that overstimulating world is making us feel the opposite. So for me, that means going through life and just being aware that everything around me is familiar, it makes sense. Whatever happens next, my logical brain can deal with it. And while my world is like that, I can shut out all that overstimulation. I can stay safe and secure and stable. And if something happens that's a little bit off from that path, like I have to meet with a bunch of people I don't know, I can self-soothe myself. I can count things, or I can study patterns, or I could focus on the coffee I'm drinking, and I can bring myself back to that place of safety, even if I'm not sure what's going to happen next. But every now and then, something will happen that will throw me completely off that path, that will push me into that world where everything is overstimulating and everything is crazy. Something happens and I don't understand it. I never anticipated it. Suddenly I'm in a space and I don't know where I am. And my world is coming apart and everything is coming in on top of me. I'm going back to that little girl in the yard, the one that is holding on to the bar. I'm focusing on that taste because it's bringing me back, like I said, to a place of safety. But I'm kind of aware of the children a yard over that are playing and laughing. In fact, just a few minutes before being in my yard, I was with those children. I was playing and laughing with them. The mother comes outside. She's got some candy bars that she wants to distribute to us. And right away, I see one candy bar, and my brain says to me, that one is mine. That's Robyn's candy bar. But before I can tell the mother, she gives the candy bar to another child, and she gives me a different one. And now my world is coming apart because I'm not holding the right candy bar. That child over there has the right candy bar. And I start screaming and acting out. And the mother tells me, you need to go home. Troublemakers need to go home. So now I'm in my yard. Now, I am really aware, I'm only 7 years old, but I'm really aware that I have this behavior and that it's disturbing to my peers, it alienates them, and it causes me trouble at school. But I am only 7, I am new in this world, and I have no way of dealing with that feeling when my world begins to disintegrate. I have no skills to deal with that. All I can do is scream. That's all I can do. I'm also aware, very much aware, that I'm on a timer with the people around me, because eventually, as I'm hanging with friends or I'm in a classroom or any place where I'm with people for a while, eventually I'm going to go there. Something is going to send me there. And so the people I'm with, I know I'm on a timer with them. Tick, tick, ding. Something happens, I have a meltdown, and everyone around me has had it with me. Now I need to be sent away, or I need to be punished, or I need to be ridiculed for this behavior, and that just further isolates and confuses me. About 10 years ago, I was in a show, great big, huge, enormous show, lots and lots of people are on stage. It's a musical. We're in the final rehearsal week, and we are all exhausted, it's late, the director is like on her last nerve, and we're gonna do the big show-stopping dance number, and it's very complicated, lots of weaving in and out, but I have those patterns in my head. I know what I'm doing. I'm fine. I know exactly how this dance is supposed to go. The director decides that she wants to move us around, have us all start from a different place. So she moves us, and then she has the orchestra. She tells them to start up, get the show going again, and that's what happens. Music starts, everybody starts to move, and I hear myself like everybody else hears me. I'm hearing myself going, stop, stop. Everybody stops. They're all looking at me. The director's livid. Nobody wants what I just did. And I can hear people behind me swearing. I can tell people are angry. And I'm saying, I don't understand. I don't start from here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And the woman standing next to me says, well, when the music starts, why don't you just do what the rest of us are doing and just move to the place where you start dancing? And she's looking at me like I must be dumb. Well, I'm not 7 anymore, so I don't scream when I have those moments when my world starts to come apart and all the world that is out there overstimulating me is falling in on me. Instead, I blurt. I hear myself speaking, and I don't know what I'm saying or even how to stop it. And what that means is that I'm still on a timer with people. Because when I do that, well, I always embarrass myself, but sometimes I embarrass people. Sometimes I say things that I don't mean to, and I hurt their feelings. And sometimes I just kind of come off like I'm a jerk. And I hate it, just like I did when I was a child. But I can't help it, because my world is coming apart, and I have to do something to rescue myself in that moment. Now, I've met some people like me. Every now and then I run into somebody who has kind of the same reaction, and I recognize, oh, you're probably Asperger's like me. And you will too, if you haven't yet. Eventually you may run into people like me too. And we know we're on a timer with you, we get it, we know that. And what my questions are for you is, can you forgive us when we say things that you know we shouldn't have said? Can you make some space for us if in your community and recognize that there are people that just have to process and do things differently? People who love me and know me, they can put up with it. They can forgive me sometimes when they need to. Other people, maybe not so much, and I have alienated people in my life, and I'm truly sorry for that. So like I said, those are my questions to you. How will you manage when you meet people like me? Because I guarantee you, if you're around me long enough, it's gonna happen. That it really is. It's gonna be a tick, tick, ding. Thank you.